I'm gonna keep saying random facts and details about the show Gravity Falls until I can't anymore. One of these days I'm going to reach thousands of facts, so make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I have like 0% subscribers. To not waste any time, the first factoid is that everyone that lives in Gravity Falls is canonically stupid. Wow, a real strange one for the first detail of thousands, but that shows how weird these videos are going to be. But yeah, throughout the show, you may have noticed that a lot of characters seem to be pretty stupid. But the explanation to that is the episode Society of the Blind Eye. In it, we see a secret society that erases memories from the residents of Gravity Falls whenever they see anything weird like a monster or, in Lazy Susan's case, some gnomes. And since this town is also known to be the most scientifically proven weird town, having the most concentrated amount of cryptid and anomalies, that means that all of these characters are being forced to be dumb by this one society. Good thing the gang shut them down before the finale, am I right? Lazy Susan and her unlucky diner. Lazy Susan is introduced while she's trying to fix well, Lazy Susan at the diner she works at.
Where were you yesterday?
I got hit by a bus.
Hilarious!
In fact, almost every time we go to the diner, something breaks or has been broken. Like the animals running around the restaurant constantly, Sue's catching everything on fire, and even after not what he seems, the crane drops the already demolished food establishment just as the scene was about to end. Either the diner or her have some bad luck. Good thing that date with Stan went as well as you would expect.
Non-specific excuse!
Yeesh.
Everyone would have died if Dipper wasn't there. We see various ghosts throughout Gravity Falls. There are in fact 10 categories of ghosts listed in Journal 3. 2 of these ghosts can be seen during the episode The Inconveniencing, an older couple who died due to teens playing them newfangled modern music from them boomboxes. They come back as ghosts to essentially torture Wendy and her friends for being teenagers, who were only stopped because Dipper revealed he was actually 12. The scariest thing about this is that Wendy invited Mabel and Dipper at the last possible second to come with, so it's likely that they would have been there tortured for who knows how long. Scary stuff! Wow! This is a kid's show, by the way. In Gravity Falls, it's illegal to marry a woodpecker. Yeah, that's right, what of it? In the episode Irrational Treasure, we see that Gravity Falls isn't just weird because of monsters, but even the laws are strange. The law, the right to marry a woodpecker, was founded by the 8.5 President of the United States, Quentin Tremblay. This ex-president and ex-mayor and founder of Gravity Falls that isn't 100% confirmed to be the one that made this law. But considering this is the same person who, during his presidency, issued the Emancipation Proclamation because he believed, and I quote, "Pants are about restrictions, which goes against America's values of freedom." I can't believe he made this law and made this totally happy marriage possible to this man who has only been referenced as Woodpecker Guy. Who has only been seen after the marriage arguing about not migrating south for the winter, and the second he's revealed being a part of the Blind Eye Society, instantly says the marriage isn't going great.
How's that marriage going, by the way?
Oh, great, great. Not great.
God, I didn't know I had this much to say about the Gravity Falls law where you can marry a woodpecker, but hey, here we are. Here we are. Gravity Falls has a zombie problem. Zombies were foreshadowed all the way in episode 1 where Dipper didn't realize that Mabel's new boyfriend was actually some gnomes in a trench coat.
Is this weird? Is this too weird?
But then we later see in episode 1 of season 2 when Dipper actually raises the dead.
Dipper, what's the one thing I asked you not to do tonight?
Raise the dead.
And what did you do?
Raise the dead.
But where the fact comes in is that even after the season 2 episode, we see them around. We see the dead mayor pop right out of the ground along with some other zombies during the ending bit of the finale. And then Robbie's parents just put them right back in the ground.
Brains and so forth.
Nope, none of that, thank you.
Meaning that zombies are still here and much of a problem. If only every person with the knowledge of how to defeat them didn't leave town the moment after we saw this as a problem. Lol. Mabel has over 100 sweaters. We see Mabel wear a lot of sweaters throughout the show, and basically anything her character appears in. And you may notice that there are so many, making her the only real character in the show to ever change their clothes, especially for every episode. Here's an image of over 100 sweaters she's worn in appearances, thanks to user bodacious_E on Reddit. Just take a sec to appreciate how many designs the artists and animators had to constantly draw, all for this little cartoon girl. Stan faked a heart attack to get money. In the episode Boss Mabel, Dipper, Mabel, Stan, and of course Waddles watch the show Cash Wheel. Later in the episode, Stan decides to compete in the show and only receives entry by pretending to have a heart attack.
Ah! I'm having a heart attack!
And claiming the only antidote was to receive a spot on the show.
And the only cure is to be a contestant on Cash Wheel. No, someone give me a part. I'm old.
What won't this greedy man do for some dollar bills? Morando has a mermaid kingdom and is a prince. Morando, the merboy, is the love interest of the week Mabel falls for in the episode The Deepen. But he isn't just some random mermaid, he's part of an underwater kingdom that remains pretty unexplored in the series. He's implied to be a prince of the kingdom of merpeople in the episode Society of the Blind Eye, when Morando is swept into arranged marriage to the queen of the manatees to avoid undersea civil war.
Queen of the manatees? She's so beautiful!
Considering how many cryptids there are in just Gravity Falls, there's no telling how many there could be underwater, or how big this kingdom might be, or what other sea creatures live there in a sea society with all those sea? I wonder if that's one of the stories we could have seen during the Stan twins' adventures on the Stan of War. If we had any. Mabel's most worn sweater, and its sweet story. Something you may have been wondering after hearing she has over 100 sweaters, which one has she worn the most? Well, thanks to the lords above, there are other freaks that like this show even more than I do. On the Gravity Falls wiki, there's a list of Mabel sweaters. Every one. And also with a list of each one, which episodes they appear, and how many times they appear. With pictures. And after going through them all, the one she has worn the most isn't her iconic shooting star hoodie that's only been worn 5 times across the show if we're not including each intro. It's instead her purple floppy disk shirt, and there's even actually a sweet story as to why. Throughout the show she's worn this 10 times because it's a hand-me-down from her father, who happens to work on computers, who got it from a Windows 95 convention many years before the twins were born, being one of the few sweaters confirmed to not be made by Mabel herself, and is a real cute reason as to why she likes it so much, besides it being comfortable because she's worn it for so long.
Hey Mabel, could you get the light?
I'm on it.
Dipper's real name. Dipper's real name has been hinted for as long as it was revealed Dipper had a nickname.
The Big Dipper! That's how you got your nickname. I thought your parents just hated you or something.
That was the season 1 episode Double Dipper, which was also the episode to introduce Pacifica to our world. But even after the finale, they still didn't mention what his real name is, or even really talking about the fact it's a nickname. But then 5 months after the finale came out, Journal 3, a real version of what Journal 3 would actually look like in the show. Oh, and skip to the next fact to avoid end of Journal 3 spoilers if you're not there yet. So after Ford slipped through the portal, that's where his Journal 3 pages end, and when Dipper picks it up, with its first edition being the leaf blower's tip against the gnomes. And not only that, Dipper started writing away about his own adventures, and in the book they go back and forth between Ford, Mabel, and Dipper, once they're all there of course. But during one of the final 30 pages, while Ford is explaining to Dipper about the theory of weirdness, Ford writes, "You and I are some of the strangest beings in this town I've ever seen, Dipper," I told him. "Mason," he blurted out. He seemed almost shocked by what came out of his mouth, and then deliberately repeated it. "My real name is Mason. Dipper is just a nickname, but everyone got used to it, and now it feels too late to tell everyone the truth. And it's kinda dumb name anyway. Don't tell anyone." I tousled his hair and smiled at him. "Your secret's safe with me, Mason, and I think it's a great name. Masons are a great secret society, you know?" So that's the name that wasn't said for the whole show, and I mean the entire show. That's 14 hours of show that it wasn't said. And it happened during an off-camera scene just after the episode The Last Mabelcorn, with Ford and Dipper showing how these nerds really trusted each other. I think I'll keep calling it Dipper though, since I don't want to spoil those people that skipped ahead. Gravity Falls has its own Lochness monster. The very second episode of the show, The Legend of the Gobblewonker, is home to many iconic Gravity Falls characters and moments, such as its best joke.
My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better.
During the episode, the gang are trying to find the Gobblewonker, which is very similar to Loch Ness. But did you know that many states in real life have their own version of the Scottish lake monster? With one of the most famous in America being Champy living in Lake Champlain, a lake that's shared by both New York and Vermont. It's shown later in the episode that Gravity Falls version of Nessie was actually a robot made by McGucket. But one of the most interesting moments was the very last second of the episode where it's revealed that the Gobblewonker is actually real. So who knows how many of these different versions of Nessie are real as well in the Gravity Falls universe? Or maybe they're also made by crazy robot making guys.
That's probably why I live in the dump.
Ford's 6 fingers make him unique. Great Uncle Ford having 6 fingers is a big part of the show, and even why most of any of it happened in the first place. That birth defect has changed the course of his life for the weirder, making him bullied to the point of being a reclusive nerd that obsessed over the weirdness in things, which is why he went to Gravity Falls and why he kept a journal with that 6-finger hand symbol on it. This law of weirdness and him studying it is why he had 6 fingers, was drawn to Gravity Falls, and finally why he built the portal. This man's fingers have made him so unique and caused so much of the show that I even had to make it a fact on this list.
Whoa, a 6-fingered handshake. It's a full finger friendlier than normal.
I like this kid. She's weird.
The gnomes have a secret language. Even though most of the gnomes speak English, there's one fellow that only says one word.
Schmebulok. Schmebulok. Yes.
Schmebulok. Schmebulok is one of the best characters of the show and only ever says one word. But in Journal 3, one of the very first pages has a secret in the Blacklight edition. The gnome page we see Ford writing in the episode A Tale of Two Stands, when interviewing a favorite gnome, has even more details on this page. The Blacklight version goes, "Every gnome generation has a town idiot, or Schmebulok. I interviewed one, and he said the word Schmebulok over and over, before writing this on a chalkboard. Pure gibberish." But if we go deeper into Cipher Disc quote-unquote gibberish, as Ford so rudely put it states, "Mine is but a solitary existence. I read, I ponder, I stare at the heavens. Bounteous is our world, but cruel is the master of it who condemn me to say but only my name. Perhaps my isolation is my gift, for only in the separation from others that our mind can truly be free." So, yeah. Holy crap, what? Damn, Schmebulok is a literary genius and a poet, and I didn't even know it.
Schmebulok. Is Schmebulok all you can say? Schmebulok.
Grunkle Stan wears a hearing aid. It never really comes up, but yeah, Grunkle Stan has a hearing aid, which shows how much of an old man he is.
I'll show you who's the old man. Ow! Ah, my hearing aid!
It helps him win Season 1's finale and expose Gideon as the fraud he is, proving that he's no child psychic, with the help of Dipper's courage to leap and punch Gideon's robot, Mabel's determination to keep using her grappling hook until it's eventually useful, and Grunkle Stan by pushing 70.
I'm pushing 70 and I still eat ice cream for dinner.
Everything was built by McGucket. We talked about how McGucket made a robot version of the Gobblewonker, but he has also made other incredible inventions, including some of the most pivotal machines in the plot of the show. Besides the Gobblewonker, he has also made a homicidal pterodactyl robot when his life left him, and an 80-ton shamebot when his friend Ernie didn't come to his retirement party.
Well, time to get back to work on my death ray. Any of you kids got a screwdriver?
Those are the other ones he said he made in the very same episode. Other ones have been the Season 1 finale Gideon robot, the mysterious laptop that led to his memories coming back, the memory gun that took the memories from him in the first place, and helping Ford with the construction of the dimensional portal. He's truly an important player to the show when it comes to the plot, and his machines are sure a big reason for it. Dipper can play the tuba. Old Man McGucket can play the banjo, Bill Cipher can play the piano, and Dipper can play the tuba, or more specifically the sousaphone. We see this in one of the very few Gravity Falls shorts, showing that not only is Dipper a nerd, but he's a band kid as well. Ew, Dipper, gross.
Hey, is that a giant tooth?
Mabel knits in superhuman speeds. Alright, maybe I should just make a Mabel sweater deep dive because there's a lot to say about this. Like, even more than I would have thought. Comment down below if you would like to see me do a deep dive for every sweater or anything else about Gravity Falls. I love Gravity Falls. But anyways, it has been confirmed in the Between the Pines interview that whenever Mabel isn't on camera, she's knitting her next sweater.
Every time she's not on camera in an episode, she's off knitting the next week's sweaters.
Which is crazy because of how many dang sweaters she has. There's only 40 episodes of Gravity Falls, and she's worn over 100 sweaters, with there only being 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. So the annual problem of our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Even though that isn't true and is a government psyop. Where was I? Oh, okay. There's closer to 70 days of summer vacation for Big Dip and Sweater Girl, so that's like 1.4 sweaters she's making every dang day. That's wild. Go Mabel, am I right? Like, good for her. She even made one that lights up and another that plays music.
Is that a boombox sweater?
See for yourself.
Poke. Working.
Uncle Stan is truly only successful because we see in the episode A Tale of Two Stans how Uncle Stan is so terrible at selling scams that he's banned from most states in America. But then later in the episode show that Stan is actually amazing at lying to the people of Gravity Falls about obviously fake cryptids and Panther shirt. Puma shirt, Panther shirt, Puma shirt,
Panther shirt.
But one reason he's truly successful is the same as the fact I talked about earlier. Everyone in this town is truly stupid. Canonically so even. This added with him being an incredible showman and finally finding a niche about stupid cryptids like the Sasquatch made him really successful. He might even be able to sell his terrible actual scams if he tried with these canonical idiots. But with all these assets combined, it made a perfect career choice for our favorite gilf. Grunkle, I like frantically. Puma shirt or Panther shirt? I just mentioned this episode joke about my man not being able to pick between a Panther shirt or a Puma shirt.
I'm fine locking him inside if you are.
Puma shirt, Panther shirt. Puma shirt, Panther shirt. Puma shirt.
But we actually see him in Season 2's first episode with his decision. In the episode, the gang is throwing together this party, and during it, on his way getting the tickets, we see this.
Tambry sends me the craziest texts.
Showing he decided on splitting the shirt, so he's wearing both. These are the kind of facts that I live for. But the question is, which one would you have picked? Should he have chosen to split the shirt in the opposite way? I personally think he chose the wrong answer. Bill Cipher is in your wallet right now. That's right, your cold, hard cash could be home to Gravity Falls' most famous triangular menace. Everyone knows he was originally designed after the Eye of Providence on the American dollar bill. But did you know that his history and journal implies that Bill has been manipulating the human world for literal centuries? Even confirming that the pyramids were designed after him. And with him being confirmed to have come to the real world with the Cipher hunt, who's to say that Bill isn't laughing at your wallet right now? You're broke. And that's all the facts I have for right now. Watch this video next if you want. Either way, it's a matter of what you make it. Have a good time. Bye bye.